Pubco Studios in Oklahoma City. You're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell. We're brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. You can go online anytime and order your pizza at papajohns.com. Time for our inbox segment where we take your email questions and answer them here on video. Let's get to it with Brad, Barry. He says, Thunder-Pelicans, no leadership or game impact from coaching, and Russell Westbrook regressed to 2009. That was a frustrating game on Sunday night.
Yeah, he's talking about the Pelican game where Russell did not pass the ball the last 4 minutes and 58 seconds. Literally did not pass the ball. Took 8 shots, committed a turnover. So it's a great point. It's a great question. What exactly do you do about it? Because the NBA is a players' league, especially the stars. They have the power more than the coach. I don't have a lot of great suggestions for Scotty Brooks. He could take Russell out. Maybe this is what he needs to do. Just take him out and don't even have him sit down. Just look in his face. You know, Russell's good at not looking at people when he talks. Make him look you in the face and say, Russell, you're a great player. Just settle down. You don't have to do it all. Just take a deep breath and settle down. Next whistle, you're going back in. But we just need you to settle down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and I think, too, I don't know what you can do to fix it in the moment, but surely after the fact, you can show film to Russell Westbrook that shows when they were playing the game plan in those first 40-plus minutes or whatever, things were going pretty well. I mean, they had a 5-point lead with, 3-4 minutes left, maybe even a little less than that. And the offense was running pretty well. I mean, they're not going to blow out the Pelicans. The Pelicans are a really good team. But then he just went into hero mode, and it was like he forgot that things were going pretty well the other way. I don't know if you can win him over in the moment. I don't know if doing something like you said would work. But surely in the rearview mirror, you can set him down and say, look, this worked for X amount of time. And then you went away from it, and it didn't work. I don't know if that sways him or not. Maybe that's a way to get to him. Show him the facts. Show him what actually happened out there. All right, let's go back to the inbox from Rain. Rain says, I know times change, but I'm still blown away by the fact that Baylor and TCU are the class of Big 12 football. How did it happen when these mediocre programs overtook the likes of OU and Texas?
Well, it's a great question, and the answer is completely simple. Here's Baylor and TCU. Here's OU and Texas. They didn't meet up here. They didn't meet down here. They met somewhere in the middle. And Sooners and Longhorns dipped. Texas has dipped more than Oklahoma. But Baylor and TCU rose. They built their programs, put in beautiful new facilities. Both of them have new stadiums. They've got a lot of recent tradition in terms of uniforms and high-tech offenses and good coaching. And they've just done everything, right in terms of building a program. And the Sooners and Longhorns have slipped, and they've been passed temporarily. We'll see for how long on the food chain.
Yeah, and I think, Barry mentioned facilities, coaching. I think you also have to look at recruiting. I mean, those two programs drawn out of the state of Texas are continuing to pull at some of those same players that you see Oklahoma, Texas, and others going after, and I think that's really been a big part of it too. You get a couple guys like Trayvon Boykin currently at TCU or a Robert Griffin III a couple years ago, and all of a sudden, kids in Texas start to see, hey, these are options. Maybe I should go there. Maybe I should consider that. And Texas and TCU and Baylor don't get them all, but ultimately you start to draw enough, and I think that's been a metamorphosis for him too, is just on the recruiting trail, who they're able to go after, and now who they're able to get and then develop them. Because I think if you look and you say, recruiting stars and all that sort of stuff, Texas and OU probably still have those two teams beat, but then they develop them. You got to develop that talent. So I think it comes down to personnel in a lot of instances with those two teams. All right, back to the inbox from Andrew. He says, add BYU for football to the Big 12. Traveling a football team once a year from Provo to Morgantown and vice versa is much easier than flying all your Olympic sports teams to and fro several times a year. Barry, one of the big things I think that's out there when you talk about conference expansion and you talk about it almost from coast to coast.
Yeah, and you know what? We've talked a lot about Brigham Young. We wrote about it for the Monday Oklahoman. But, I'd be very interested in adding BYU to the Big 12, but not for football only. To me, that makes a Mickey Mouse conference. To me, that says, you know what? We're not a real conference. We're just trying to patch things together. So I'm not in favor of a football-only situation. If you don't want to bring in Brigham Young, then I think maybe a scheduling alliance is the way to go with the Cougars. It would help BYU. It would help the Big 12. How about a Brigham Young Baylor series? That would be a big-time series. So I would vote for BYU to come into the league, but not unless all the sports come.
Yeah, and I don't get the feeling like the Big 12 would do that. I think that if there is expansion that's going to happen, that it would be for all sports. Is it tough? Sure. Is it tough right now for the West Virginia teams to always be coming into what is more traditionally the Big 12 footprint, and for teams here to occasionally go to West Virginia? Sure. I mean, it absolutely is. And it's expensive, you know, when you're talking about tennis and volleyball and wrestling and whatever other sports you want to throw out there. It's absolutely expensive. But I think part of the draw of BYU is that financial dollar that you'll gain in football, and so you'll offset those travel costs. It won't change the wear and tear. There's just no way around that. But maybe you recover those dollars with BYU in the mix for football contracts and those sorts of things with TV. All right, back to the inbox one more time from Ben. He says, this is what the AllCollege needs to do. OU versus ORU, Tulsa versus OSU, or any variation of the above. And Barry, Ben's referring to the fact that the AllCollege, it's died a very quiet death.
Well, you know, they plan to bring it back next year, but we didn't have an AllCollege this season. Ends, I think, 1936. Some form of the AllCollege was played every year since 1936. But here's the truth. Ben's plan won't save the AllCollege. In the past, I believed that a variation of the above, which is OU versus OSU, that's the play a third game, that would get people fired up. That would save the AllCollege. I don't even think that would do it. I just don't sense enough interest in December college basketball. Now, when January gets here, when the Big 12 rolls around, football's over, people will get excited to some degree. But I don't know that the AllCollege can be saved. I don't see a solution.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And I've covered the AllCollege over the years, as has Barry, and you see different teams come in. I remember being there one year when Michigan State brought a really good team into the AllCollege, and it was fun. It was a great non-conference game. But I'm not sure the crowd even then was very good. And, I just think the dynamic has changed. Big-time basketball at the arena is the Thunder. And, you can't trick people into thinking, oh, this is big time when, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, LeBron, Carmelo, whoever is there on a regular basis. I'm just not sure that it works anymore. And with these holiday tournaments, most of these teams are going to the Bahamas, or they're going to Orlando or somewhere like that. I just don't know if you can draw teams to Oklahoma City and have a multi-day tournament. So, I don't know if it can be saved. And frankly, at this point for Oklahoma City folks, I don't know if it needs to be saved. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.